What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Hit the Books, our season 3, episode 24, our big game episode, Super Bowl 58, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know if I'm allowed to say the S word there, but we're gonna say it's okay. Super Bowl 58 this Sunday in Las Vegas. You've heard all the media people are starting to get out there. You're starting to see what it's gonna look like. Media day just happened. We're starting to get the feels that this is real because I don't know about you guys. The 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, week between the NFC and AFC championships and the Pro Bowl, it feels like the Super Bowl is so far away. And then the second week, like this week, when they start doing the media day and start doing all the some guys are starting to do the shit talk and obviously nothing crazy, but they love making more out of it. Yeah, I was gonna say that kind of stuff. Like that starts happening. It's like, okay, this game is Sunday, just like a normal NFL week now. So we're getting into the nitty gritty. It's obviously Wednesday when we're recording this, Thursday when it's coming out. So by the time you listen to it, we'll be almost just about 3 days away from the Super Bowl. It's Sunday at 6:30. We'll jump right into it after I introduce the guys. No Jesse this week, just me, Ace, and Mackie. Ace, I'll hand things off over to you. How are we feeling headed into Super Bowl weekend?
Yeah, hyped up for it. And like Mackie was saying all year, it's almost here and then it's gone. So one more week to get some football action in. I know a lot of people are hyped up. Everybody's asking me this, getting the Super Bowl squares ready, getting the Super Bowl parties ready. So we've been looking at everything, got all the lines out there for the good stuff. Like Huff said, the media day getting us ready for that too. Good past weekend of All-Star celebrations in the NHL and the NFL, NBA in full swing as well. You guys heating up on the college basketball card per usual. But yeah, ready to get talking this week. Ready to talk some Super Bowl. Great matchup here. Great matchup.
I personally have always loved media day as a part of the Super Bowl. Like it back even the days of Marshawn Lynch and the I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like there's been some all-time quotes out of NFL media day, and I don't know, I always get a kick out of that when the Super Bowl week happens. But Mackie, how we doing? Same thing. Heading into Super Bowl week, Super Bowl Sunday this coming Sunday. How you feeling?
Yeah, obviously super excited for the Super Bowl, but right after the Super Bowl, I mean, with no football for how long? I mean, like 8 months, I think. So, um,
With the
longest off
USFL coming
season,
back.
longest off season. Gotta look forward
He
to it.
just
But
brushes that off.
who the fuck cares with the USFL? But yeah, getting excited for this game. Like Huff said, it always feels like a mile away after those NFC and AFC championship games, and now it's right around the corner. So,
It
yeah,
is it is the perfect amount of time for them to build the anticipation up perfectly, because if it was a 3rd week, like how college football does it, where, they'll play what is it, 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Because then no, it feels like an extra day because they played on Monday, but it's like
no,
that
it's
that
it's more than 2 weeks.
that's what I was gonna say. I thought it was more than 2 weeks too.
Well,
They
no,
have,
because
like, a month.
they have, like, a month. They, like the whole month of December, they don't play.
I was
Maybe
gonna
they play the
say,
first week,
could you
and then
There's a
it's
imagine
bunch
if
of
the
like
other
NFL
there's a
did that?
bunch of other games, but none that we care
yeah,
about.
it's like bowl game season. I think, like, 7th was their last game, and then they played, obviously, on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day,
Yeah.
whatever that was.
2
But,
weeks
yeah,
is the
it's like
perfect anticipation time because, like I said, the first week, it just feels so far away, but you can't stop looking at all the odds and all the you know what I mean? Who's
And you can't stop
all
seeing
the
Taylor Swift all over the media right now too.
oh
I
my
was gonna say, all
god.
the storylines and everything, this is obviously gonna be one of the more media covered Super Bowls that from non-sports media standpoint just because of
Mhm.
her, but, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited. This is always my favorite episode of the year. I'm definitely excited for this one.
Washington played their last game December 1st, and then they played, obviously, on New
30
Year's
days
Eve or New
later,
Year's
a
Day.
month
Yeah,
later.
you
Yeah,
have a
30
month you have a
days.
month to prepare.
Yeah, they drag it, but obviously
Now these two
they gotta get
teams
all the
got
bowl
2
games
weeks to
in.
get going. They're first recovering from that first one, celebrating their victories, couple of close
Yeah.
games for both of them, and now
It's
they gotta
literally like a
get
bye
through all
week.
the
It's like going
festivities.
into a bye week.
Good thing is both these teams, a lot of these guys have been here before, so they know what to expect, especially those Chiefs on one side, the veteran experience. I mean, they're gonna be ready to go off the start, but I'm ready to get talking about this game. This one's gonna be a great matchup.
Yeah, that's a good point because you can tell in the media day stuff, like all the guys that have been there, like Kelsey is like it's almost like he looks forward to that every year now. Like obviously, you
Mahomes.
look forward to going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they just are like, yeah, we've been here, done this, no problem. Like, and
Like,
then
you're light on
obviously,
your feet. You're not worried about what you're saying. Meanwhile, Brock Purdy's standing there, like,
did you see
all
Purdy
giddy.
coming down the escalator to his booth? He couldn't even see his booth. There was so many people sitting there, and he turned around and looked at the one dude, and he was like, "All right, I gotta go." And he's
He's
like
not Mr.
squiggling through
Irrelevant
all these
anymore, Huff.
people.
That's why.
Yeah,
He's
no.
he's not Mr. Irrelevant anymore. And he's ready to disappoint Taylor Swift. I thought that was a good quote by him.
That was funny.
Yes. But tough, weird question. A lot of strange questions that come out.
That was like the one. Did you see the guy that asked Kelsey, is Taylor gonna get a ring on Sunday, or the 49ers gonna get a ring on Sunday? And he was like, I just hope I get a ring on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, we will get into it. I'll pull up the odds here. Give me 1 second. Like I said, Super Bowl 58, Kansas City Chiefs are going to be the home team in this game, correct? They'll be wearing the red jerseys. Yeah, they're wearing the colored jerseys. 49ers in the white. There is a stat with that, with the white jerseys. People love to bring that one up, so do with that what you will. But the line for the game is now officially on FanDuel at Niners -2.5, -130 on the money line. Over under at 47.5. We are going to start out with some props and go in kind of an order of what we like, kind of lead up to our official play on the game. But we kind of can start things out here. Do you guys want to start with maybe a total before we kind of give our sides where we're going to be going with this one? Do you think it's going to be more of a higher scoring bout or low scoring bout? Over under that 47.5. Mackie, we'll start off with you.
Yeah, I definitely I like the under in this one. I mean, the Chiefs have been playing by this game plan the entire season, the entire playoffs. I think I sent the set or a graphic today in the group chat of Chiefs are like top 4 teams points against in the playoffs and like in NFL history. So I think they're going to keep playing by that. That defense is going to keep playing well. You got Purdy playing in his first Super Bowl. I think it's going to get off to a slow start. Stay under. I don't know, Ace. What do you think here?
Yeah, I like your take there at the end. It definitely gets off to a slow start, in my opinion, with two great defenses. Going to take both the great mind and skill set of the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan a little bit to get going against a fiery pass rush that Steve Spagnuolo has. Meanwhile, Mahomes and them, I think they're going to play it close to the vest, run with Pacheco early. But I like the first half under much more as an actual play. Full game, I think that 47.5 line is pretty low for two electric offenses. I know they have great defense. I know they got here on the defenses. But come that second half, Mahomes will get things going. McCaffrey will find a hole. There's just going to be big plays waiting to happen. I like the full game over, the first half under.
I agree completely, Ace. I definitely could see it start slow. But it kind of the score prediction that I was thinking, I won't say which side, but I definitely think it's a good line because obviously two pronounced defenses. We know what the 49ers do. Chiefs obviously have gotten there, like Mackie said, because of their defense. No discredit to Mahomes. We know what he's capable of and has done, but Chiefs defense is the main story coming into this Super Bowl. Everyone, they're so dominant stopping the run. McCaffrey coming into this game and all that stuff. I do think the game goes over the 47.5. Not by much. I think it squeaks over like a 28-23, somewhere in there. Maybe like 4 points over, something like that.
Yeah,
But
you
I do
got to
like your
think both
point
these
about the first half under.
Ace, I like that as well. You got to think both these teams end up finding a groove and get their points. I mean, Mahomes obviously is going to get his, and this Niners team always finds something. They have so many skilled players on that
You have
offensive
guys like
side.
Mahomes,
Yeah,
Kelsey, McCaffrey, Kittle, Debo,
there's too
Ayuk.
much offense to go
Yeah.
around for them not to score points. But I think that's a really good line, the 47.5. I think it's going to sit right there. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a good
So you,
line.
you guys think the toe of a kicker is going to decide this game? Either of you?
Mm,
I don't know. We could see a
nah.
missed PAT or something that can decide it. But
I'm trying to
I don't know.
find
I
like
like
how
the
there's
under.
usually a go ahead, Mackie.
Nothing. I just like the under. I might be one of my plays
Huff sitting
in
at
this game.
28-23, not telling you a side on where he's sitting at. Mackie, you got a score prediction for it?
28-23. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
24-20. I'll say it. Chiefs.
I think it's gonna be a higher scoring one. I'm gonna go like 34-30 Niners. I think it blows up late, but I think it starts slow. I think it's a huge second half. You're gonna get a great live total, I think, late in the first quarter. I think even maybe that second half, you could be sweating out that first half under if you do decide to take it. First quarter under, I know they're usually like 7.5 to 10 in between that range, but I think it
You
could sit
could
under there.
you could just easily get a quick 21 points in 6 minutes between these two. I mean,
In the
that could
last
just
4 minutes
shoot.
of the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
half. Yep,
Yeah,
I think so too.
A lot like that Chiefs Bills game that one year. Obviously not that late in the game, you're not assuming, but kind of the same concept.
Yeah, I just think they blow up late. Big plays waiting to happen for both sides. We know what Mahomes can do. We know what McCaffrey can do. Some electric kick returners on both sides as well. These teams are going to be juiced up, and they have the star power to get it done. And what's going to be great here, we talk about how great these defenses are. But let's not forget the offensive line for both of these teams. Two of the top offensive lines in the league. I saw them give the nod to the Chiefs in a couple of ratings when they went position by position, which is crazy to say when you think about the 49ers offensive line, one of the most talented groups in the league. I think both sides are able to shut down a bit of that pass rush. And my reason that I think the Niners are going to go on to win, one of them is going to be that tougher pass rush from the Niners. I know that the heat has been coming from Kansas City, but when you go up against these elite O-lines, it's going to be a lot tougher for guys who aren't as skilled.
Yeah, that's a good point. The one I was trying to find was, you know how they'll usually have a total game touchdowns prop, because
Mhm.
kind of we all give a pretty high score prediction. Mac, you really
I
want on
think
the
4
under.
touchdowns for the Niners this week. I think there's going to be 4.
Yeah, like what do you think the game would be set at? 5.5 touchdowns? Like,
If it's 47.5, so you divide it by 7, yeah, it's like 6, like 5.5 touchdowns, 4.5, five
Yeah,
and a half
yeah,
it
touchdowns.
would probably be 5.5.
and the over would probably be a little bit favorited, like minus
Yeah,
120 or something like
over
that.
B plus. No, it'd B plus because you got to
Oh,
throw
Probably
some
yeah,
turnover
plus.
in
true,
there.
true, true, true.
I'm gonna
They
take
field goals,
minus
yeah.
130 on a 5.5 is probably what I would say.
Yeah, yeah. That would make sense. All right, yeah. So I like that first half underplay. We'll get into some of these other props with the game. Is there any player props anyone was looking at, receiving props, specific player props that we want to get into before we kind of make all the official plays on the game?
I haven't looked at any lines or anything, but I think Kelsey definitely has a big game. I mean, we've seen it all playoffs. We saw him throughout the entire end of the season. Everyone was writing him off, not taking him for anytime touchdowns anymore. His over receiving yards props weren't getting hammered anymore. And right when the big game comes, he shows up again. He gets in the end zone. He found 2 last week or 2 weeks ago. He's a big time player. It's a big time game. He's going to make the big time plays. Mahomes is going to want to find him
He looks for him all the time.
all the time in this game.
The
So,
tough thing is, Mackey, that matchup though on the other side, you have Dre
Fred
Greenlaw,
Warner,
Fred Warner. I
yeah,
mean, those
yeah,
guys are going to be lurking. 2 of the best middle linebackers in the league.
yeah, but
He was
those
able to
2,
do it
man,
in
they always
double,
find
triple
it.
coverage last week. There's no
They
Kyle
always find
Hamilton.
it.
There's not going to be a Kyle Hamilton one-on-one this week. I bet you that Shanahan team is going to be keying in on 87 a bit more. Too much single coverage on him last game. You brought up Kelsey. I'm going to go with a receiving prop as well that I like. I like Rashee Rice. I think he gets the ball a lot in that offense. He's beside. I know Kelsey's the chain mover on third down in clutch situations, but first and second down, they're looking to get the ball in Rashee Rice's hands as often as possible. He's a dynamic receiver. Once he gets going, he's probably the fastest guy on their team. I know they have a lot of speed out there, but he makes plays happen. Rookie too with those fresh legs. And of course, another prop that I like last week, I had it on the card. Pacheco's rushing carries. I think he's going to have a 19 plus, 20 plus carry game. His prop's going to be sitting somewhere between 15 to 18. So I'm gonna have to go with Isaiah Pacheco and Rashee Rice to get the ball a lot, along with 87, like you said.
Yeah, if the
Yeah,
Chiefs
the
wanna
one
win this game, I think they're gonna need big plays from players like Rashee Rice, and you're gonna need a touchdown from Pacheco. Kelsey and Mahomes are not gonna be able to do it all, especially against this Niners team. Sorry, Huff, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah, you're good. The only two that I did already have locked in on this game, I did take a Kelsey anytime touchdown at the plus 105. And then I want to double check what I got Pacheco at. I did also take Pacheco to score in this game. I didn't really look at too many of the Niners props. I mean, yeah, I am on the Chiefs in this game. I
I
have them
think it's
plus,
pretty clear at this point.
yeah, it's just kind of leading up to it. I was trying to look at minus 120 for Pacheco. That's what I locked in. Plus 105 on Kelsey at minus 120, and the Chiefs at plus 110. Um, I
In a
don't
high
know. I
scoring
just
bout,
think,
Huff, I love those. I love those touchdown props. The only other guy I looked at on their team, I don't think Rice gets in. I think Mahomes always has value with his legs. He finds
especially
the
in
end
the
zone, he
Super Bowl.
extends. I was going to ask that too. Do you guys see any value in his rushing props this week? I know you're both on the Chiefs, so those late kneel downs might hurt you, but he
Yeah,
might be able to get.
you could see him lose 12 yards at the end of the game trying to knee it out. You know, always tries to run around in the backfield to lose more than he needs to.
You remember the one when he did
But with
like
your score
9 yards backwards?
Yeah, but with your score projections, it seems like you're going to think of a late drive. So maybe that's not the scenario that you predict coming into play. But I think he's going to have to do stuff with his legs because of that defense, the way they're able to put pressure on with Bosa and Young in that blanketing coverage that they have. Travis Ward stepping up on the outside too. I think he's going to have to get it done with his legs, especially when it matters. He's one of the smartest quarterbacks. He'll make the high quality play. And in these games, we've seen him do it in the AFC playoffs before, like against the Browns when he got hurt and Henny had to come in. He'll put his body on the line to get that extra first down because he knows how much of a difference it could make.
Ace, you've taken this before, the Mahomes anytime touchdown. What was it at when you've taken it? I swear it was
Probably
always
like
plus
plus 650,
650. Yeah, dude, plus
475 to
400 is the best
650.
price for this game.
Plus
They
what?
plus 400.
Yeah,
That's
because
interesting
he's
because
he's on the move a lot, and he's probably not the. How many guys are ahead of him on the Chiefs though? Probably Pacheco, Rice, and Kelsey. Is there anybody else ahead of him in odds?
Let me look. I'll pull it up on FanDuel. Let me see. For just the Chiefs, in the order of anytime touchdown, the favorite is Pacheco, then Kelsey, Rashee Rice, then Mahomes. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Those are the only three playmakers on that offense I'm worried about. I think someone like those wide receivers, no value in a Kadarius Toney, Justin Watson, Mecole Hardman. Those have been the killers of the
I think
offense
there
the whole year.
is. I think there is, dude. In a
I
game
think
like
I
this,
think Scant
this
I
is
think
a game
Scantling
where
would be the one that I would lean to if I needed one of those like depth receivers to make a play.
this is the game
I
when
wouldn't
Mahomes
put any
finds one
money
of
on
them in the end
anybody
zone
outside those four. I wouldn't put
on a
any
Yeah.
money on outside.
14-second play on 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. He scrambles and finds a random.
Who drops it?
Yeah.
Who drops it? Kadarius Toney said he's a wide receiver one when he's fed like one. You were fed like one in week 1. You had 7 drops, 1 reception. I don't think you're seeing the ball that much. The only thing I think you have, I think there's more value than in a backup running back like McKinnon or Pacheco than there is in these depth receivers. Even a
McKinnon.
Blake Bell or Noah Gray, whoever the backup tight end is there, I think they have more value than these depth receivers as well.
They've been in this game before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those running backs have. I mean, except
And
Pacheco.
especially when they get inside the 5-yard line, if they get stuffed a couple times, they bring out 3 tight ends and you key on Kelsey, you see the Mahomes go to those backup tight ends that are big bodies and they're able to secure the ball.
Yeah.
But let's Huff, go down in order of the 49ers touchdown scores. I think they put up 4 touchdowns in a winning victory this week. So I'll tell you mine after you read through these odds.
McCaffrey, this is all on FanDuel. This isn't like best price. McCaffrey minus 230. Debo
Wow,
plus 140. Ayuk plus 155. And Kittle plus 185.
I got
Yeah,
you at
I-
minus 215 from CMC.
I
Ace.
love that. I would take everything on that. I'm going to take him for 1 touchdown and 2 touchdowns. I think he gets him multiple times. I think Kettle finds the end zone as well. Purdy does like to find Ayuk in the end zone a lot of times. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Inside the red zone, Ayuk can also make a big play break, but he's been really good this year. And then that jet sweep to Debo, you know how they like to use him in various ways once they get to the goal line. I don't think Purdy runs one in. I think he actually does add some yards on the ground with his legs, but I don't think there's any chance of him running one in. I think it's a McCaffrey multi-touchdown game in the big game.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me
I've
about
hit
the
on
Debo
2+
thing,
a couple of times this year. You got to go with 2+ again, I think.
the only
1
thing
and
that scares
2.
me about Debo is he doesn't have a touchdown all playoffs.
Yeah, he's been
Kadarius
banged up too.
Kadarius Toney plus 7,000 first touchdown. Tell me it's not worth a $5 sprinkle to win
7 to
350.
5. I'll hold the bet for you.
No, I gotta just do it myself.
Yeah, but and then the money can go into my pocket instead of everybody else. All those big bucks who are making the money. But I think it's going to be a 2+ minus 215, Mackie. That's crazy for a Christian McCaffrey touchdown in the Super Bowl, in the big game, whatever you want to call it. Huff said, don't give us copyright infringement. But I think McCaffrey gets in the end zone. Guaranteed. Offensive player of the year. He got in, week out against tougher defenses. He's going to get fed. He's probably going to break one, maybe gets one through the air and on the ground. But I bet you he gets in the end zone. First touchdown, obviously great play with him or Kelsey as well.
All right, let's start to look at. We'll dive into a couple of the big player props with their lines are set out. We'll just kind of be a quick over under what you're leaning on here. Both you, Patrick Mahomes, passing yards 262.5. I'd lean on the over.
Over.
Mackie.
Yeah, I'll go over.
Brock Purdy passing yards 246.5.
Under.
I'd lean on the under because I think it's gonna be McCaffrey game.
He's gonna have like 230. He's gonna have like 230.
It'll be close. It'll be close.
No, yeah, especially if you guys think they're gonna win. I don't know. I like the over there, but
Yeah, I guess to go under as well. I don't know, man. You could see those chunk plays.
right.
Travis Kelce receiving yards 72.5. I'd go over.
I'm gonna go
I'm
under.
not touching, but I'm gonna
go under. He's gonna have the big plays that are short yards.
2 touchdowns, 56.
2 touchdowns, 55 yards,
Yeah.
4 receptions.
No, you'll have like 8 receptions still, Mac. He's gonna have a
Nah,
bunch of
nah.
1s and 3-yarders.
Debo Samuel over under 58.5.
Over.
I'd go
Give
under.
me the over.
I'd like a combined rushing receiving prop on him. He gets a lot of his chunk plays off that jet.
Go to
I was gonna
Debo.
say that's what scares me on the
Debo.
receiving props with him. All right. Well, since we did Kelsey, we'll do Kittle. Kittle over under 49.5 receiving
Over.
yards.
Over. Love that.
I think
Over
that's
as
it,
well.
over.
Yeah, give me the
Yeah.
over.
I love that. I think he has a big game in the Super Bowl.
Christian McCaffrey rushing yards, 91.5.
Over.
Under.
Over.
Give
He's
me the
going
under.
triple digits in this
Give me
game.
the
The
under.
offensive player of the year. You know how many carries he's gonna get too? Oh my god.
I would
Huff, you got a
actually take
rushing and
the
receiving prop? Go
I
ahead.
would actually take the under on the 91.5 because I like his receiving yards total. Instead of 33.5, I'd go over on that, under on the rushing. But
I'd combine the two. That combine's gonna be like
I
125
don't
now.
see I don't see a
Yeah, just
combined
combine the two.
line. Yeah, it's probably like 128.5.
Yeah, and I'd take that easily.
And all right, Pacheco rushing yards 67.5.
I like his carries more, but I'm
Under.
gonna go with over on that as well. I think both of our
Yeah,
RB1s have a solid game. They can both
I'd
break
go
those
over on that as
explosive
well.
runs too. An explosive run, they're both gonna have. I bet you McCaffrey has a 25 yard+ yard rush. I bet you McCaffrey has a few 10 pluses mixed in there. Pacheco as
Yeah,
well.
for sure. I think they'll obviously be using McCaffrey a lot more in the short dump off. You know what I mean? Little check down
It sounds like
situations.
both of us love. It sounds like both of us, all three of us, love the McCaffrey and Pacheco touchdown. You parlay the two of those, you're getting them at plus odds. It's not a bad play for both top running backs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Probably pretty good odds too.
Probably
I'll
around
look
plus
at it right
130.
now.
No, way higher than that.
Think minus 230 and minus 120.
Well,
Just on
minus 250.
FanDuel
I
would be plus 161.
Oh,
I have 215 and minus 120,
yes, you
and I
might be a little bit
got
All
higher.
right, so it'd be
plus.
even better than 161.
What'd you get?
161, and I have
I
minus
got
230 and minus
144.
130.
Yeah, you're
All
probably
right, so
steeper on Pacheco, right?
No, minus 120.
damn, that's whack. Maybe FanDuel gives you like a boost because it's the same game or some bullshit. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they probably do. That's probably an odds boost too. Both aren't B1s to get in the end zone.
That's crazy. What the fuck?
Let's dive into this game though, Huff, a little bit. I
That
like
is
those rapid
whack.
fire stats. Let's dive into how we think this game's gonna go, why they're gonna win, what battles are gonna be won, how the game plays out. I got a lot of different takes on this one. And before we get going, I know everybody's going to say, how are you on the 49ers? You've been riding the Chiefs all season long. Seen Brady go through the same exact career path that Mahomes is going to. They're easily going to win the AFC. That's a given. Once you get to the Super Bowl, you get to the big game, it's a whole different story. Either team can win. The super QB against the super team. I know there's that stat of head coaches that match up again and they lost previously. They're going to lose again. But I think Shanahan breaks the streak here. I think he gets one. I'm on the better team in this game. Mahomes, I rode your plus throughout the whole playoffs. I'm going to take the favorite here. Locked it in right when the line dropped. Got him at -1, -110. I think that line's jumped up a little bit. So happy to have that. But I actually think I took him on the money line to be precise. But Mac, you jump in here.
Yeah, here's my thing: is if the Niners are the better team at the end of the day, roster top to bottom, Niners the better team. They have not been playing like it. If you look at these teams' recent games, who has the stronger performances in these playoff games? You have the Chiefs who came in. I thought the Chiefs were going to come in, win one playoff game, and then the Bills are going to wipe them. Chiefs stood their ground going into Buffalo, huge win. They went on the road to Baltimore, huge win. I mean, Mahomes just has taken down these powerhouses while Purdy's on the other side winning 3-point games to Jordan Love and fucking Detroit Lions who haven't been there since 1991. I mean, this Niners team before the playoffs, I was way higher on. In the big moment, they don't seem to be 100%. They don't seem to all come forward and play to their best ability. And until I've seen that, I cannot take them, especially against Pat Mahomes, who's second coming of Tom Brady. So that's basically why I'm on the Chiefs. I think Mahomes can get it done against a
My,
franchise that tends to not get it done. But I mean, I don't know. I cannot bet on the Niners in this situation.
yeah. I see. I'm not like solely like there's no chance the 49ers win this
No,
game.
no way,
Yeah,
no way.
I'm not saying you are either. I'm just saying like coming from my standpoint, this is definitely not like, oh, this is the easiest pick of my life to slam the Chiefs. This is definitely like the line is right. It's a 2-point game. I could see either of these teams win it. I am on Kansas City here to come out on top, and more for the reasons like I look at just 2 weeks ago against Detroit. I mean, really all season with the Niners, but I look at last week or whatever you want to call it, 2 weeks ago against Detroit. If that's how they come out in this 49ers game or in this Chiefs game in the Super Bowl, I mean, that was on their home
They can't
field.
come back.
That's an odd.
They're
It's so weird. It's so weird though, because during the season they didn't play like that. They'd blow
I know,
teams
but
out as well.
my other thing with the 49ers is they've struggled to start games, road games specifically. We're going to call this a road game, neutral site, you know what I mean? Close, not too far over in
They're
Vegas.
not at home.
But I know, but they're not at home. They haven't
Maybe they
started
need
games.
that in the playoffs though, because they started slow at home.
Exactly. Maybe they. I don't know. Maybe they do, but that they haven't showed me to start games that they have the ability to just go step on someone's throat and like they did in the second half of that game against the Lions, where I was like, okay, obviously the better team's going to win this game. They're going to score 27 unanswered points. That's when Shanahan just started to absolutely pull into his, you know what I mean, into his bag, started calling the best plays he could call, and that's why they're in this game. But I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried it could be 10-0. I'm worried it could be 10-0 Chiefs, and then I don't like Mahomes to blow a 10-0 lead in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean, or a 10-point lead in any.
One thing that we just saw Mahomes. He only put up 17 points last week against.
Wait, Mac, are you saying no shot that he blows the lead, or no shot that they get a 10-point lead?
No shot that he would blow a 10-point lead.
Oh, okay. So you were agreeing with me. Okay.
Yeah.
If they went up 7-0, then 3-and-out 3, and then the Niners come
back. The Niners didn't even come back. The Niners didn't even come back last week. Dan Campbell went for
Andy Reid's not doing that.
Of 6 points on the board. They
but
literally
you have to
won that game.
You have to acknowledge how that offense looked in the second half. They did their thing.
It looked
incredible.
That's
what I'm doing here. I think that offensive line, like I said, that strong offensive line is going to make a Kansas City Chiefs defense that's been playing out of its mind this whole season. I think they're going to make them drop down to where they really rank in the NFL. Because if we went guy by guy in the NFL, I know they're playing like a top end defense. They're probably sitting outside that 10 rank. And who's number one? These San Francisco 49ers. They're going to be putting a lot of this pressure on Patrick Mahomes to do too much. I think we're going to see something that hurt Brady in these championships. I think fumbles are going to hurt them once again. Fumble almost hurt them last week or a couple weeks ago with Pacheco on the goal line. I think that this Niners team is going to play smart. They're going to get McCaffrey involved. They're going to get these tight end. I think Kittle has an electric game. Couple of these receivers. Last week we saw that the Ravens were able to get separation in the secondary. Better receiving core here, more depth. Going to put a lot more pressure on that defensive backfield that they have. I think that Purdy's actually able to have a good game. I don't think he needs to put up 240 plus yards. That's why I went over. I mean, under on his yardage prop. I think he's going to be able to take what he can get. Kittle's going to find openings. You're not going to see one guy locked down by all-pro McDuffie. Personally. I think McCaffrey's going to have big plays. He's going to be the difference maker. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be my Super Bowl MVP. I know we're going to get to that in a bit. I think he's going to be the reason they win this game. They're going to win the game in the trenches. That D line's going to get going with Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Chase Young. Maybe he'll show up. We know how good he can be when he's playing at the top of his game. Dre Greenlaw as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Mahomes throws an interception as well. Been loose with the football in those tough receiving hands of those guys that we were talking about earlier. Outside of Kelsey and Rice, I think they might drop crucial passes in crucial situations. I don't think there's any chance that 87 is left one-on-one many times. You got to learn from last week.
I definitely agree. I don't think it's going to be as easy of a game for Kelsey as people think. But the one-on-ones and stuff like that, you definitely got. I mean, yeah, you got to think Shanahan's going to key in on that. I think this is a huge game for Pacheco. The rushing offense, like you said, the rushing attempts for Pacheco, I like that. I don't know what the line said.
But will he be productive with them?
I think he will, dude. Like you said, that Chiefs offensive line, they're half the reason they're there.
He was effective against that Ravens defense with Roquan over in the middle.
Yeah,
but I think this Niners defense is a lot stronger. It's a lot stronger.
It truly comes down to I'm just like
defense is a lot stronger than the Ravens defense.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you could say it's stronger for sure, but I would not say a lot stronger. And with the way the teams have been playing, I disagree as of late.
But, to help out with the Pacheco, though, it was just Roquan Smith. I think Dre Greenlaw is a much better two than Patrick Queen.
You're also more looking at like the names on this Niners roster. Like, are they really performing too? Well,
Greenlaw and Warner have been playing
Chase Young's definitely not.
No, he hasn't. That's why they were able to acquire him.
You could take Chase Young out of the picture. Yeah,
I was talking more about those two middle linebackers that are going to be all over the field. Greenlaw showed up. He won them that game against the Packers. 2 interceptions got them to this point, or else they would have been knocked out by Jordan Love. Fred Warner, arguably the best middle linebacker.
I was gonna say, I think Fred Warner's better than Roquan. I think Warner's better
all around.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I mean that Ravens defense is no slouch either. I mean they're probably a top 5 defense as well.
Yeah, top 5.
Ravens are better over the top.
these Niners, if, like you said, Dre Greenlaw had 2 interceptions against the Packers. If Mahomes is in that situation where he's up 10, 17 points in the third quarter of a football game, he's not going to be making turnovers like Jordan Love was. He's not going to be he's going to be conserving that lead, and there's zero chance where the Niners can get back into it. So if they come out and play like they have in the last 2 games, 3 games, I think it was, they're not going to have a chance to win this football game.
I don't think the Chiefs will be able to win this football game with the performance they had against the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think 17 points beats the San Francisco 49ers.
I
You know
agree.
If
McCaffrey's
you get the best performance from the Niners, that is a
they
factual
didn't even
statement.
give their best
Yeah.
performance the last few weeks though, and they put up 24 plus. They put up 30 plus, and they only played
Against the
one half.
Against the Packers defense and the Lions defense, who both rank in the bottom half of the defensive efficiency. Now you're going up against probably the best defense in the
The
league at
hottest
this moment
defense.
is the Chiefs. You're not going up against the
I think they're
Packers
gonna get
defense who
neutralized
who
though.
let Tommy DeVito win Offensive Player of the Week. This is a all-time championship winning defense. It's gonna be a different story.
But it will be interesting to see because we know that the Niners will be run heavy. They're not going to get away from that run. Huff, we talked about the Ravens and Chiefs the last game. They got away from the running game, and that's really
And
what bit them in the ankles. I think they're going to keep going with McCaffrey over and over with a stout O line in front of them, with
what
good
do
options in the secondary that you have to respect.
what do they do
I
if
think
that run game isn't getting going right away? And then
I
You
think
got to
it will.
resort to Brock
They're going to
Purdy.
stick with it. They have the offensive player of the year.
But what if it's not getting going? You don't have that quarterback to go to
But
bail
they
you
have
out.
Mackie, I
they
truly
have
think they'll
other
live
guys.
and die by it.
They have to.
They'd rather lose the
He's the best
Super Bowl
player in
and
the
give
league.
McCaffrey. Yeah, yeah.
Well, at that
If I'm a
point, it could be
Niners
too
fan,
late, and then you're in a scenario where you're down 10 points to Mahomes.
if I'm
That's all right
a
though.
Niners
They
fan,
haven't been able to
McCaffrey
pull
has
away
to
in these
touch the ball
games.
35 times this game.
Yeah, and
Ace, they
it's going to
don't.
be combined through on the ground and through the air. And if it somehow is stymied, they'll find the ball the other ways. And unlike a lot of these other teams the Chiefs have played this year, there's a lot of other options. We go down that Chiefs list. If you neutralize Travis Kelce, if you truly neutralize him, which is going to be tough in the big game, but it was done throughout the whole season up until that AFC Championship. How are you going to beat him? You're going to rely on the rookie Rashee Rice. You're going to rely on Pacheco against one of the toughest defenses in the NFL. It's a tall order.
You're gonna rely on that
I
boy Pat
also
Mahomes to get the
Yeah,
job done
it
any
is.
which way.
That's going to be the only guy. If you're on the Chiefs for rightful reasons, Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league. But on the other side, if you go down best player in this game, it's going to go Mahomes. There's a lot of 49ers there. If some reason CMC couldn't get going, you still have Debo, you still have Kittle, you still have Ayuk. There's a lot of options. And if that game is running, CMC running well, I think there's no chance he isn't running well. Then you're going to get that play action going. And I don't know. I want to see this Chiefs secondary tested against some of these better weapons.
it's
Kittle through the
it's
middle of the
definitely going
field.
to be
What's the answer for Kittle? Is it Drew Tranquil?
he's the only. I mean, obviously McCaffrey, but I think Chris Jones is able to stuff the run up the middle. It's going to be. I think he's going to be touching the ball a lot. Like I said, check downs and passing plays. That's the
Run to
guy
the
that scares
outside.
me the most for the 49ers is Kittle.
Especially the way that he is for those big games. These tight ends always show up in these big games. He has electric moments in the playoffs. You can always count on him. He said he'll be back here and make an impact. I think he's going to get a big game. I think he gets the end zone as well. Good value there. I can see him tearing them up. And if they get going through the air, then McCaffrey's going to get going on the ground. And it could be a blowout for the Niners. I think it's going to be a close game, though, because Patrick Mahomes is as good as he is. But he's going to have an incredible game. He could have an incredible game in a losing effort just because I think that the 49ers are able to expose this blitz-heavy Kansas City Chiefs defense that has been relying on beating teams that aren't able to keep them out of the backfield. I think Purdy's smart with the football, too. I could even see him struggle early, but I think he does enough to get going late, and I think that
Ace,
I'm just relying on CMC.
with this team at its best, everything you're saying is correct. But like, I don't understand how you expect this team to be at its best with the way that they've been
They
playing.
haven't even been
Not
at
even
their
this
best, and
year,
they're still
last year in the playoffs as well.
But they've grown from this. They've been in these moments before. One thing I want to
And
look
they
back on.
haven't gotten over that hump is what I'm like. They've if history repeats itself, it is going to repeat itself. with
But the good
Niners
thing
not
is,
playing the
let me
best
tell you
of
this:
their
if they were in
ability.
the same situation that they're in last year, where the Niners have a late lead, I'm more confident in Brock Purdy than I was in Jimmy Garoppolo, turning that ball over, moving the chains, and whatnot. Also, having Christian McCaffrey helps a lot. If the Niners hold a lead in this game, it's going to be tough for the Chiefs to get back, in my opinion. I think the Chiefs have to come out to an early lead. I think the only way the Chiefs can win this game is they start hot. They have to start right away. I think if it takes a while to get going, I see the Niners picking it up slowly, slowly, slowly. Too good not to. If you will give them a chance to creep that back door open, I think they can get back in. I don't think vice versa. Just because of the lack of help we've seen outside of 87-4 for the Chiefs. I just don't think there's enough passing game help where they can come back from a large deficit.
I don't know. I just give me 15 under center. He'll figure it the fuck out. It's 10
Yeah, that's
points.
what you're
Like as
relying
long
on.
as there's
And if
time
so,
on the clock.
that's why I love his rushing prop. I think he's going to have to do a lot with his legs this game.
I definitely see that. But all right, let's go through this list here. I got 20 questions, kind of rapid fire. We're gonna say what we like for each of these. It's for some ranges from national anthem to first scorer, all that good stuff, passing yards, all that stuff. So we'll start out number one. Length of the national anthem in seconds, sung by Reba McEntire, 90.5 seconds.
Country singer, right?
Who
Country
is
singer?
Reba
Country.
McEntire?
She's like an older country singer, yeah.
She's
I'm
gonna
gonna go
draw it
under.
out, but if she's old, it's got to be under. It's
I'm
got to
gonna
be
go
quick.
under. I'm gonna
Doesn't
go
have
under.
enough juice in the lungs.
I'm gonna go over.
I'll
I'm
go.
gonna hope
over
she's
as
a
well.
fast country singer.
Country
I've never
singer.
heard it before. Gonna go under.
Yeah, Max is going with the age. She's got to be under.
Coin toss, heads, tails.
Go heads every time.
Tails never fail.
Tails never fails.
I want $200. I want $200.
That's the best bet. I know a lot of people like my brother. I'm sorry to get off track here, Huff, but he's like,
Yeah.
I'm not watching this game. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Just bet on the coin flip, then turn it off. Still salty about that AFC Championship loss. the quickest money you can make though is on the coin toss, heads or tails.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's known right
You-
there. Like, boom.
Yeah.
This is how the game's gonna go.
Here's where they kind of get into a stretch where it really could be anything. First offensive play would be run or a pass.
Run. It's gotta be like minus 150 though.
Yeah, run. Which team will score first? Chiefs, Niners.
Kadarius Toney, Chiefs.
Is it
I'm
a
gonna say
touchdown
Chiefs,
or
but it
points?
doesn't have to. No, score.
I'll go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think Chiefs ask for. I think if the Chiefs win the
They'll get
coin
a
toss,
three. I
they
think
ask
they'll
for the
get a
balls.
three.
They ask for the ball first and go down and get points. But
Here's this
first
one.
turnover of
Chiefs
the game.
Field goal. Niners touchdown first drive. First field goal of the game. Chiefs.
First turnover of the game. Fumble, interception, turnover on downs, missed field goal.
Chiefs.
I'll go with the fumble.
Fumble
No,
by
it's
the
a
Chiefs.
it's what do you? No, you
fumble.
don't have to pick a
Fumble.
team. Just
Fumble.
yeah.
I'm
Fumble.
gonna go with the interception.
Which team will commit the first accepted penalty of the game? I think it'll be an offensive holding by the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Oh, I like it. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
They're gonna
as well.
have to hold with both.
And I'm gonna go with the Niners. The fucking NFL wants the Chiefs to win. Give me the
Yeah, the
whistles on the Niners.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have to call some stuff early on the Chiefs to make up for all the bullshit
Make
calls
up
that the
for it at the
Niners are
end.
gonna get in the
Yeah.
second half. Yeah.
Mac
Well,
and
the
Hopper
penalties-
going with the script.
penalties were only 10-7. It wasn't even that bad.
Race to 10 points.
Niners.
Chiefs 10-0.
Yeah, I got you. I did say Chiefs will go 10-0. So,
Or
will either
neither.
team score? Will either team score during the last 2 minutes of the first half? Yes.
Yes.
Field goal, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Lock that in.
Kadarius Toney
all right.
touchdown.
You.
Which song will be the first performed at the halftime show by Usher?
DJ got us falling in love for sure.
I forget what the one that
Oh, real quick.
I'd probably go. Yeah, I feel like you come out to
Yeah,
that.
DJ
that's-
got us falling in love. remake.
yeah. No, he's
yeah,
not
that's a
start
good
with
one
that.
too. I don't think he's gonna start with that.
DJ
I'm
got
with
us
Mac.
falling in love. That'd
with
be a
Mac.
good one.
Or oh my God, no, OMG. You know that song?
Yeah,
I don't
that's-
think
Oh,
That's like a game changer in the middle of it. Like it'll
Well, oh my
change-
God. Yeah, if he brings out Will I Am too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna bring out Will I Am in the first song.
Here's the next one. Will anyone accompany Usher on stage to perform a song
Yes.
with him?
Yes.
Yes,
It wasn't
obvious.
last year, right?
There was
No, I
no
think there
guest
was, like-
last year.
Yeah, so
Who
definitely.
was it last year?
Was it
No,
Rihanna?
wasn't it?
Wasn't
No,
it
wasn't
pregnant
like all
Rihanna?
of them?
Yeah. No, Rihanna.
No,
didn't
you're
sing
thinking of the
it.
one in LA with the Rams. That's when it was like Snoop Dogg, Ice
Dr.
Cube.
Dre,
Yeah.
yeah.
Last year was
That was
Rihanna.
And she was
Gotcha.
solo. Yeah, so I'm going this year. I think Usher definitely brings someone out.
Yeah,
I think he will too. How many songs will be played during the halftime show? Over under 8.5.
Under 8.5. They want to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think under
there
8.5.
as well.
You can't stay out there. Think about that.
Tough if
3
you bring
minutes
out
a
a guest,
song,
though.
even.
Tough if you bring out a
20
guest.
Well, that cuts a song off of them.
Yeah, but then
You know what I
they're
mean?
not
Like-
doing that. They're doing more than one.
Yeah, true. All right, back into the football stuff. I guess that's kind of cool. It goes in like the order of the halves. Total number of players to attempt a pass over under 2.5.
Over 2.5.
Over.
Give me a Devo pass.
I like that.
Can anybody else play quarterback on these teams? Though? I don't know.
Head to head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be McCaffrey. Head to head, who will have more passing yards, Mahomes or Purdy? Mahomes.
I think Mahomes.
Who will have more rushing yards, McCaffrey or Pacheco?
McCaffrey.
Who will have the most receiving yards in the game?
George Kittle.
I'm gonna go Kelsey.
I'm gonna go Debo.
You don't have to, Mackie. There's another option. You can.
I know, but he wasn't even in the top 4. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh. What color Gatorade will be poured on the winning head coach?
Orange.
Mackie.
I'm gonna go orange as well.
Dude, I want it to be red, and I have a theory on why it's never been red. I'm thinking like, I feel like everyone knows it stains your clothes. No one's gonna be that much of a dickhead and dump fucking red Gatorade.
But it's a red team, so everybody's loving it right now.
I know.
But like who chooses this? Like, do you think it's like a normal game where they just throw a packet in, or do you think like they
no?
Like
it's different. I bet you the color is different. It's script. If you know you're gonna win the game, they're gonna pick the right color. But if it's heat of the moment, it could be whatever's over there.
Taylor Lewan said on Bussin' with the Boys, like when basically like they never went to a Super Bowl, but they were in the AFC Championship and all that stuff. But he said like they don't know which Gatorade thing they're gonna grab. Most teams have 2 colors of Gatorade, but he said like for every 2 things of Gatorade, there's probably 4 things of water. He said, but for the Super Bowl, like they know they're grabbing Gatorade because they want it. It looks 10 times cooler than using water. Like they're. Anyone that bets that clear / water,
yellow could be a clean one.
It literally says what color will the liquid poured on the. It says clear water. Yeah.
The clear is also you get. I think you can win on the white Gatorade.
Yeah, the white Gatorade.
Yeah, I think it's usually supposed to say clear / white, but I feel like what's the most? It was a couple years ago when the Chiefs won. It was orange. Last year it was purple.
I feel like lime, green, yellow is like the most common.
Yeah.
So Mahomes 2 Super Bowls, it went orange then purple.
Yeah. So
what was it when Brady won? Ace, do you remember when Brady beat Mahomes?
He won a bunch of times. So
I'm saying when he beat Mahomes like recently.
He won too many times. I don't know which one you're talking about. Shut up, Ace.
No, when you're watching your team too, it's harder to think about that.
Yeah.
No, I
the last thing you're looking at is what color Gatorade.
What did does anyone remember what Stafford got? Mackie, look up the recent results. Let's do some digging on this one.
Hold up.
We're just playing guessing games. I only know the Chiefs ones because I saw the
colors. 2023 purple, 2022 blue.
So the Rams did use blue.
The last Patriots was blue.
I believe that. They had blue in their colors.
Eagles was yellow. Bucks was blue.
2017.
Bucks was blue. That's a random one.
Bucks was blue.
That's just the best flavor of Gatorade. So like they were just like, fuck what would look cool. We're just trying to drink the good shit.
The last few years it's always been colored. It hasn't been clear since 4 years in a row in 08, 05 through 08 it was clear. But it hasn't
That's
been
a fucking streak to go on.
Yeah,
wait, who won the Super Bowl in 08? Was that the Steelers' first one or was that our first one in 09? Giants.
How do you not know?
Because I don't know. Because it's this. You know how they do the season is this was the 2023 season, but the Super Bowl was 2024.
That was the Giants. That was like my first football memory.
Is that why you're a Giants
all right,
fan?
what's the next one?
Yeah.
Will either team score during the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter? I'll go no.
Yes. No.
I'll go
no.
I'll go. I'll say there will be like a turnover where there should be points or a missed field goal or something.
I'm gonna go
just to be different. Who will win the game? Chiefs. Ace, Niners, Mackie, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Combined total points over under 47.5.
Over.
And Super Bowl MVP.
McCaffrey.
Kadarius Toney. Nah, give me Pat Mahomes.
I'll go Kelsey.
Huff is so bought in on the script. Huff, Taylor Swift's not playing in the game. You can't
Taylor Swift
Travis Kelce for the most yards and the MVP and the win.
I'm not gonna lie.
Kelsey's gonna be named MVP, and then Taylor's gonna come up from one of those things from underneath the ground, and then he's gonna propose to her right there.
No, Huff. I mean, it's not a bad strat to go with because if it is if there ever was a script or anything about the NFL, it's following it to a T. I mean, come on. But I got the
I
Niners
did
too.
already bet him MVP at plus 2,000, and it
Risky
since
pick
dropped to
here.
like
Risky pick
1,700.
here. Hat trick touchdown. Hat trick game of touchdowns with 100 plus rushing for McCaffrey.
That's
Bugging.
automatic MVP.
Yeah, and and what's crazy is it's not too far fetched. He's hit 2 and 3 so much this year.
Yeah. But when you're banking on him to get like the first, I mean, not really. They just go to him a lot. You're really not. I mean, he can get
You
anything
can
when
see
they
a
need it.
You can get
you
it
can see a
anytime.
Blake Corum type situation where he gets 2 in the final 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you see something like a big defensive play. I mean, what's crazy is we're the only people that think there's a lot of points in these games. The Madden
I
simulation, I know
don't.
it's stupid to take into account, but it had it like 13-6, 17-6, something like that. And these two defenses, with the way they're playing, it's tough to imagine a lot of points, but I just think too many superstars to have it go under, personally. Let me read Jesse's picks real quick, not on the pod this week, but he has tails on the coin toss, over on the anthem. Niners in the first half, but Chiefs to win the full game, and he thinks there's going to be red Gatorade riding with the red trend of both teams. Good picks there by Jesse. He thinks it's going to be a close game throughout if it's changing leads from half to full game. I
So
think this is
basically,
going to be a
thinks it's
great
going to be
match.
like exactly how it was last year. Because then the Eagles have a 10-point lead at half, and then Mahomes came back and they
He
won.
probably thinks it's how it's going to be in the last time these two teams matched up.
Yeah,
Where
true.
the
Niners
Niners
didn't
aren't
lead
able to
again.
do
Yeah.
too much down the stretch. I think with Christian McCaffrey in the equation, he is
It
the
does
missing
change.
link
Yeah,
this team needed. That guy is
it
good.
does
Christian
change things.
McCaffrey, offensive player on the year.
I will
This
say,
is
I'm definitely probably more excited for this Super Bowl than I was last year, just because I fucking can't stand the Eagles.
This is gonna be a really good game. It's probably the 2 best teams in the league for sure.
the
Yeah, for
super
sure.
team
It's
and the super
crazy I'm
QB.
saying that because I had the Chiefs losing in the second round, but this is gonna be a really good game.
And shout out to me. I won my bracket pool going all the way. I got the AFC predicted perfectly. Have
I
Kansas
saw
City
that.
going
That
to
was crazy.
yeah. And the only
What
ones
was
I
the one you
slipped
messed up
on.
on? The Lions?
No, the Dallas Cowboys naturally. I
Yeah.
had them going. I think I had them winning 1, maybe 2 games. And yeah, I did have the Lions losing to the Bucks. I think that was in round 2. Yeah, I did have the Bucks over the Eagles by the Bucks over the Lions. But yeah, that was
Yeah, that's
good. So I got Niners to close it out. Come on, Niners, take it home. I got my preseason bet in from August 31st. I have them to win the Super Bowl. I hammered it after last week, like I told you before that line shifted. Officially got it in at. Let me see this official price. You guys have any futures on either of these teams? I know a Beak, longtime listener, tailed before the playoffs. He's like, "Oh, I took the Niners. I tailed you." I said, "Well, you got to throw on someone from the AFC," and he tailed my brother's Ravens just because he was buying the hype and they're the ones here. I said,
yeah.
"Well, you can always put a little bit of coin on Patrick Mahomes because you can never count him out." So he's got that. He's got both those features, and I think he's heavier on the Niners. But I have that preseason bet from August 31st at 11:50 p.m. plus 950 to win the Super Bowl. That was a good one to lock in.
Damn.
Like,
Yeah, I
love
mean,
that.
hindsight's always 20/20, but thinking back that the fact that the Chiefs were plus 1,000 before that game against the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl, I wish I would have taken that, and then I'd be putting a nice little hedge on the 49ers in this game and just not even caring about who wins.
I got the Niners. I double dipped. I took them. I got them right when that game ended, or AFC NFC chips both ended. I got them at minus 115 on the money line. Now at minus 130. So that goes to show you make sure you shop early. But now I think if you're waiting, you might want to wait a little bit closer to game time, and they might even out a bit more.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Could you see those
Um,
lines dropping? You think they expanded or they drop? I think they drop as it gets closer to kickoff. There's got to be
I
a
don't know.
lot more
It's
money.
tough because
going.
the money's got to be on the Chiefs.
So much money on the Chiefs, but it almost evens out because of all the futures that are on the Niners. They were the heaviest hit all season, but coming in, I think there's like 88%.
Let me
Patrick
look.
Mahomes at plus. Everybody's thinking now, where were you people during the Bills game, during the Ravens game? Better value, locks. Come on.
I was there for the Ravens game at least.
Wait a bit. You took them spread though, didn't you?
Yeah, I was too scared.
I did spread last week. I did the money line in Buffalo. not
Any
the-
value in taking the +2? No shot, right?
No, just fucking.
If it was +3, would you?
If it was +3, I would.
I'll tell you what, fucking Vegas would clean up if it ended in a one point game.
You don't
Also,
think a
not
lot
bad-
of people are on
not
the
a bad
Niners
play to-
line more so than the spread though? I feel like a lot of people are probably on that money line because
I feel like most people. Wow, what's the spread? I mean, what's the money line? It's probably like minus
125 right now.
You
I
can
might
get
tease-
125, maybe not.
tease- I
But I
might
bet you a lot of
tease-
people are just. What'd you say,
I
Huff?
might also tease the Chiefs in the over.
So what do you get?
Uh,
You gonna get the Chiefs at,
plus nine
Let
and
me
a
see. I'll
half,
figure it out.
plus 8.5,
and then you're getting over 40.5.
41.
No, it'll be
Not
lower
too
than that.
bad
It'll
at
be
all.
higher than that. It won't be. That's a lot of points. I think it'll be like 7
If you
and
do
no.
it
You
si
get 6 points.
if you do a
It'll be
2-team
8.
6-point 2-team 6-point teaser, it's minus 110.
Oh yeah, they're
Plus
plus two
plus
and a
eight,
half. I didn't think about that.
plus 8. Oh, they're plus 2.5 right now. I have them
Yeah.
plus 2 on my
So
book.
it'd be plus 8.5.
Yeah, plus 8.5 and over 41.5.
I love
Oh
that
yeah,
though.
I'm taking that. There's no way Mahomes loses in a 2-possession game.
I know
You
you
always
guys
tease.
hate swinging past the 0, but like imagine you
Yeah.
could get more than plus
Nah,
3
you
for the
don't do it, you
Niners.
lose so much value. You
Yeah,
always
no, I
tease
agree with
through
you.
3 and
Yeah,
7,
yeah,
which
yeah.
Huff is doing here, which
I'm
is
just taking
great.
them on the line. I'm taking them on the money line. The Chiefs. The Niners. That's where I have them. Niners on the money line. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
I
a
was gonna
great
say
game though.
if
There's
you
gonna
didn't
be
have
fireworks.
if you didn't already have like money line locked in at the minus 115, I could see doing it and just say, all right, give me plus 3 in case they lose a last second game. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're better off just stick it. Plus, you have a future on them. I wouldn't be
Do you
double
guys?
dipping like you are. I'd just be like,
Oh,
I have a few. I'd be
am.
fucking
I
hedging.
am. I've had a successful season on the NFL card. Got to keep it hot. And plus, I had to lock it in so that way I can get these odds on my card when we post it.
Yeah. All right,
Hold
yeah, that's
everybody
gonna do it.
buying.
Super Bowl 58.
This
We'll
is
have
gonna
our
be a
live stream
great
on Sunday.
game.
So obviously, get the if
Oh,
anything, I don't think anyone's plays are gonna change. We'll get all of our official plays that we're gonna be going with on our cards come Sunday morning
2
in our
cards for
live
me.
stream for Super Bowl 58. But we do have some other news in the sports world. Some in the NHL and the NBA. Over in the NHL, we did have the Vegas Golden Knights defeat the Edmonton Oilers last night, snapping their 16-game winning streak. They won the game 3-1. The win streak was second longest in NHL history. They were trying to catch the Penguins from 91-92. Couldn't get it done. They did fall a game short. The record sits still at 17. But yeah, I mean, hell of a streak by the Oilers. You got to think the All-Star break put a kill to that. I mean, tough spot to go to.
Entrenched
Ace,
entrenched
and we said it.
themselves in that playoff race now because they were so far out of it before this wing streak. This was an abysmal season for the Edmonton Oilers. They're sounding all the alarms. Didn't know what was going on with the goaltending. And people were like, "Is this team going to stay together?" But now I think they're back in the race. Mackie, we sent that graphic before they lost last night. They were leaders in the Stanley Cup ads at plus 700. After that loss, I think they dropped back down a few pegs, huh?
I don't know, man. You can't over. I mean, they were bound to lose at some point, but I mean, even so, like great win streak. Way to get this season back on track. But it's still a cup or bust for McDavid. I mean, he needs to
Mhm.
get one. He's in year 8. They're just
He hasn't
wasting
even
his
been to a
years.
conference finals.
Gotta get there. I mean, it's a waste of a season yet again unless they get a cup. And yeah, he hasn't even really touched it yet. No, they were in the conference finals against. Oh wait, never mind. They lost to Calgary that one year, right?
Yeah, they haven't gotten to the conference finals yet.
Yeah.
I thought they
I
lost
mean,
to the Avs in the conference finals.
No.
yeah, because they beat Calgary in 7 games.
I thought the year the Avalanche won, the Oilers
Yeah,
lost
I
in the
think you're
conference
right.
finals.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I got it right here. So we were 2024. All right. Lost conference semifinals.
I think they lost in Game
Oh, lost
7 of
conference finals in 2022.
Yeah, to the
All right.
Avs.
They've been once. They've been once.
I mean, they
Yeah.
gotta get
I
over that
mean,
hump, and I mean, how much longer can McDavid really stay there and just waste his years? I mean, I know he has
Yeah.
Draisaitl on his side, but it's the NHL. I mean,
and why
you
is it
need
though,
more than.
Mackie? It's because the NHL turns into a whole different game in playoff season. The guys with these skills and finesse, a lot of these lower skilled guys that bring that physicality, that grit to the games. The goalies play a little bit sharper that time of year. Goals are a lot harder to come by, and it's not point night every night for 97. You got to get
Yeah,
down, do the Mac and
And,
chuck a bit.
that's correct.
I
But if
mean,
you put McDavid on a roster that's built for a champ, I mean, that Oilers team's not built for a championship.
No
You put him on a
goalies, no
roster that's built for a
defense. Yeah.
championship, and it's gonna be like one of those Avalanche years where you know that this team is gonna win the cup,
Yeah, it's not
and
the
it's not gonna.
NBA where Steph Curry and LeBron can carry you all the way. You need a good team to be able to win the Stanley Cup Finals. Whole different game when it gets to the playoffs. I think I saw a good quote from Brad Marchand today. He was saying basically coming out of the All-Star break how it's a whole different aura in the NHL. He's like, I don't even know where anybody's at in the standings right now. So you just got to get better every day. And as long as you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. He said it doesn't matter what seed you get in as. You just got to get there.
Yeah, like the
that's
Panthers
the
last year.
NHL.
Right. You just got to be there when it all matters, and teams are going to start getting better and better, and teams figure out who they are. So it's gonna be a good end to this. I still think the Oilers are going to get I don't know if they get to the conference finals this year. I think they get at
They'll
least a couple
they'll win
more.
a playoff series.
Yeah.
They'll be sitting in us. It depends who they draw in the second round, but I mean, Ace, we did say this was the matchup going to Vegas. If they get through this, I think they have like in Anaheim as
Ducks.
their next
Yeah.
two. Yeah. So like, I mean, they'll likely get back in another winning streak.
We knew the
here.
road was ending here. We knew it.
Yeah,
None of us
this
put
was
it
the
on the
game
cards.
that was on the calendar. Vegas was a home underdog last night. That place
Yeah.
was buzzing with all the celebrities there for the Super
They're not
Bowl.
losing in that game.
Yeah,
Coming
no.
off the All-Star break too. Like, come on.
Yeah. Did you see they had McAfee and Ty Schmidt running the siren? You know how they do the siren
Oh,
thing
yeah.
before the
They
games?
were there yesterday.
Yeah, McAfee was up there and Ty Schmidt. There were so many people at that game, like so many celebrities at that game.
It's a sick matchup
But
too. You got McDavid versus the reigning champs.
yeah. Yeah. Other news in the NHL, we had the 2025 Winter Classic get announced. Ace, you did say this a couple weeks ago. Chicago
Dizzy.
Blackhawks will host the St. Louis Blues in the 2025 NHL Winter Classic. I believe they said it's going to be at Wrigley. Pretty cool matchup. I mean, or cool stadium where it's going to be. Obviously, I like Chicago, so that'd be a cool game to go to. I think the last time the Blackhawks were in an outdoor game, I think they did Soldier Field, so it'd be cool to see Wrigley. I don't know if they've ever done that. Do you know off the top of your head, Ace, when they've been in the Winter Classic? Yeah, this would be. Then yeah, This has been one they've probably been wanting to do for the past couple of years.
One of the most historic stadiums in America.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bedard, literally as soon as he's in the league, he's like, "What more can we do to get him on TV? Oh, we're gonna put him in the Winter Classic." St. Louis Blues doing a good job of rebuilding too after that cup. They've kind of been in a lull, but I think they have some young talent. And if the Hawks can do something this offseason, they have a lot of youth around them as well. It'll be an exciting game nonetheless, but hopefully a little bit more incentive on the line than just two bottom dwellers.
Yeah. I don't know. The Blues had a couple stretches throughout this season where they looked like they were going to be a decently competent team.
They'll be better next year, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's really it for the NHL. Not much in the NHL, obviously, like we said, coming off the All-Star break, heading towards the playoffs as we head into the second half of the season with the playoff push.
Bruins
definitely going to be
Canucks
diving into
coming
a lot more.
Tomorrow night, two of our top teams in our ranking, Bruins and Canucks, face off tomorrow night. That'll be a good one as well.
Is that in Boston? Because I saw Vancouver was in Carolina last night.
Yeah, we're on a nice little homestand for a week or two.
That's nice.
So that'll be a great game to watch. So watch out for that one.
Yeah, and to end things off, we'll jump over to the NBA. We have a couple of headlines, some injuries I'll get into real quick, and then we'll jump into some more of these headlines. So Zach LaVine to undergo season-ending foot surgery for Chicago. Was looking to get traded to possibly a contender. Obviously, Lakers. His name's been associated with the Lakers for the past couple of years. Looking like that's not going to get done again. And then as well as Joel Embiid has undergone a surgery on his meniscus in his left knee. And is now going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks. How do we see this affect this Sixers team? Obviously, this is a team that we've had in our top 5 at points throughout the season. When Embiid looked like the for sure MVP favorite when he plays. Now the issue that he's had throughout his career is the injuries. Here we go, missing 4 weeks. He's already missed time throughout the season. Ace, you're the Celtics guy. I wouldn't be scared of these 76ers if I were you in the first place, just because you guys have their number. But this absolutely wipes any chances off of them possibly upsetting you guys.
I was gonna say, Mackie, this has got to be good news for you. It gives the New York Knicks a bump in stock. I was kind of saying it yesterday. Before we were saying there's 3 teams I don't think they can beat. Now I think there's only 2, because even if he comes back after this injury, we know the injury history. I talked about it the last time we talked NBA. You get Joel Embiid in a 7-game series. Once you get to Game 5, he's already beat. Now he's going to be coming off of an injury. Where their seeding going to be, it's going to change a lot. MVP for Joel Embiid goes out the window as well. I know he had that huge performance on Kobe Day a few weeks ago, but tough injury for a great player. But this guy's always on the table. I mean, I don't see this team making too much noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, this team still doesn't have the supporting cast to make a jump anyway. But if matters how long he's out, this could drop the Sixers down to even like a 7 seed where they'd have to play the Bucks or the Celtics in the first round. They'd definitely get beat by either of those 2 teams going on the road. So this could definitely just ruin their season as a whole and kind of rebuild for next year at this point.
Good thing is you can get some good value on the Sixers right now. I think I took them one of the first games Embiid was out, and they beat a bad team. They're getting disrespect on the line. Still not a bad team, but just not an elite team right now.
Yeah, the other highlight for the Sixers, obviously, Maxey, career high of 51 in that win over the Jazz a couple nights ago. All these players putting up career highs lately. Yeah, I was gonna say they were underdogs in Utah. That was a pretty kind of surprising one, but I don't know. You don't think Maxey can do something by himself without Embiid for a couple of weeks?
They're not going to fall
he's
out
made
of the
a
playoff
major
picture.
he's made a major jump this year, but he's not a number one option on a contending team. No way.
He's
I
turned
think that
into a good 2.
they're gonna. I think they can fall a few spots in these standings. They're sitting very close right now. The Cavs and the Knicks are gonna just roll
Do you
over
think
them
they
for the
play
next.
above? I don't know their schedule coming up, but do you think they play above or below 500 basketball? Saying they have a balanced schedule. Let's just
I
say.
don't. I think Joel Embiid is going to be out way more than 4 weeks as well. He's being reevaluated. He just had
Every
surgery on
time
his
he has
meniscus.
4 weeks, it's always like 6 or 8. I feel
He
So
just
like.
it's
had
like 2 to
surgery on
3
his
months.
meniscus. He's going to be out for a while. So I think that the Sixers definitely go under 500 in that time being. They fall down. They're not gonna be out of a playoff spot. And hopefully
But yeah,
Joel Embiid
6
is
or
back
7. You're
by
saying
playoffs. Yeah, but they could be sitting 6 and 7. If they're in that 7 spot, they're in the play-in tournament. That's not a situation where you want Joel Embiid playing more games
you
than he
could
needs
lose to
to in the first
Tyrese
place.
Halliburton in a playing game. Don't worry.
They
Yeah,
play the
definitely.
Warriors tonight.
Yeah,
This Sixers team could be in trouble right now.
Warriors are also in trouble. On a little side note, they're not looking too good, but
The Warriors.
yeah, we know what's out. Well, yeah, we already talked about that
talked
last
about
week.
that
But
last week. Yeah.
yeah, here's another one. Kyrie drops 36 in his return to Brooklyn. 119-107 win. When healthy, how far do you see this Dallas team go out west?
Not
Luka
too
gone.
far, to be honest. I
Really?
think that they have the star power, but they don't have the supporting cast down there either. And I just don't see
I'd
this
like them to get
recipe
to
of
the second
Luka.
round and lose.
I mean, I don't like this recipe of Luka and Kyrie to actually win them a championship. And I think
I
that
don't
West
think
is
they would lose to a
loaded
team
right
like the
now.
Warriors or the Lakers that makes it out of
No,
the
no
play-in
way.
tournament, though.
No way. But they wouldn't. But they wouldn't beat a team like the Nuggets. They wouldn't beat a team like the
The
Clippers
Kings.
or even the Thunder right now. You're
Did they beat
losing.
the
You're not.
Timberwolves?
I think that it'd be a very good 7-game
I
series,
think
but I
they beat
wouldn't. I wouldn't just take it. I wouldn't.
Kings
I
and
would not.
Timberwolves and Mavericks are all about that same
Did
conversation.
they beat the Thunder?
No.
No.
There's 3 teams in the West that I think they have no chance of touching: the Thunder, Nuggets,
Nuggets,
and Clippers.
Clippers, dude. That
I mean, if
team's
there's
on
3 teams that
fire.
you can't touch, then there's no way you're getting through.
That team, James Harden said it when they started 0-5 when he came over. When we figure this out, we're gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and they're on
Dude,
fire.
Kawhi is absolutely insane, and James Harden is just doing
Russell
everything that
Westbrook
he needs
stepping up.
to.
They have
Yeah,
a lot.
Russ is playing all right.
Everybody's doing
Obviously,
their
they got
thing.
PG. They have the supporting cast. That Clippers roster is built for a championship up and
Zubac is
down.
coming back off injury too. They
That
have a lot
team
of good
is
players.
I mean, if
That team's
26 and
scary.
5 in their last 31, yeah,
Come playoff time too, you have a lot of guys that can go get you a bucket.
listen, Kawhi Leonard is the number 1 player you want in your okay, no, I wouldn't say in the league,
Yeah, but
but
he's one of the
he's
best
top
players to
3
have in
player
the
you want
playoffs.
on your top 3, I'd say. In the
Because of the
playoffs,
way
you
Yeah.
he
want
plays, the way he plays.
When
yeah,
he
he's
plays. That's the
well, in the playoffs, he doesn't load manage, but
Postseason, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't
he's definitely
surprise
one
me
of
if
the
his
best
ass
top
the
3
first
players
round.
that I would want on my playoff roster.
Yeah, for sure. If he gets one with the third team, that's unreal.
If he gets
I mean,
James
LeBron's done
Harden
it,
and
but
Paul George a championship, the unthinkable, that he's top 5 player all time right there. You can get James Harden and
Don't
Paul
you have a
George.
note here on these Clippers? They've gone that's how good they've been playing. Yeah,
that's what
look at
Mackie
this.
just
I mean,
said.
they
20,
jumped up the
26,
standings.
26 and 5 in their last 31.
That's
Hottest team in
insane.
the NBA.
You don't
Best
see
team
that
in
in today's
LA.
NBA. You don't see that in today's NBA. And 7 years ago, when the NBA was so lopsided and we had
Yeah.
73 wins in a season, it wasn't that uncommon.
Especially
Teams
when they
lo-
started so low too. Like they
Yeah,
weren't
wins
like
don't
this off the
come.
rip.
Steve Ballmer, man,
Be a fun team to
built a
watch.
built a nice team over there.
That's how you put a veteran squad together. The Lakers still try to figure out how to build around old guys. Clippers built around the old guys pretty well.
Kawhi built that. Kawhi said, "I'm not
Legend.
coming without PG," and then he got Harden over there, and got. I mean, dude, that team is good.
Clippers currently sit plus 550 to win the finals. It's the fourth favorite.
What is that?
Who's higher?
Nuggets, Bucks, and Celtics.
Celtics plus 270, Nuggets plus 440, Bucks plus 500, Clippers plus 550, and then it drops to Phoenix at 16-1.
Oh my god!
And then it goes to Cleveland at 20-1.
Yeah.
You want to know about your New York Knicks? 21-1.
Of course, I want to know. Dogs, man. Jalen Brunson
What about the
MVP.
Thunder, Huff? What about the Thunder?
The Thunder and the Timberwolves are both 20-1, tied with the Cavs. Then it drops to the Knicks, and then it's a major drop off. Heat and Mavericks and Sixers all 42-1.
Anything you would place right now? Any futures you'd look to place now? I think just the Thunder. I think the Celtics odds are going to keep dropping too. So Celtics
I'd
numbers.
go
Knicks
Clippers.
21-1. Hammer it.
I'd stay in the West personally because I also don't have an NBA team, so I can be an affiliate of anyone that I have a future on. I like the value on the Clippers. It's gonna be obviously it wouldn't surprise me if they don't get it done. But
Mhm.
I like that
value's
value on them
there.
I
I
mean
don't think. Yeah, you'll
550.
find better value later. I think.
I think if you take the Celtics at plus 240 halfway through the season to win a championship, you're just an idiot.
You missed out on your chance to do it early.
Yeah, but if 550,
Will they
give
get
me-
better
I mean,
odds, Mackie? You think you'll get better?
The
You're gonna
other
have to
one
wait
that
till-
I'd do is
I don't know,
that
but
I
you can
don't
see-
like is Minnesota.
You could also see Tatum go down or Jaylen Brown go down, and this entire season's over.
I mean, that's you can't really bank on that.
Yeah, but there's half a season left, and they're plus 240 to win a championship. There's just so many things that can go wrong.
The
Whereas
East
if you
is
take them to
pretty
start of
top heavy
playoffs,
though, with the Bucks and them.
I don't think they'll be much higher than plus 240 at the start of playoffs.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to wait until like mid playoffs
If you want to
not
get them
buying
at plus 240 to start of playoffs, that's not a terrible play, but you got to get through the regular season of disastrous things that could happen before you do that.
I think the only one that I'd look at now is the Thunder with that 20-1. I think those are good odds for a really good team.
Huff, did you just say you think there's good odds on Timberwolves to win a championship?
I just like that team. I'm just saying that's a decent price. Here's what I'd actually place. Give me LeBron at 55-1.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Dude, how about two goats that have gotten there before? Baby goat.
Yeah, but no.
Bet.
I'd go. I don't know. I haven't looked at too many. I haven't been betting a ton of NBA lately. I've been kind
Yeah,
of
we'll
checked
pick
out.
that card up once we get past the Super Bowl. We'll get that card rolling a bit more.
All right, we got anything else?
Yeah, I think.
No,
that's
you guys got
basically
some
it.
good
Anyone got
picks
any-
coming up. You're gonna make us some money in the NCAA this week.
The past week we have to.
We're hitting a little slant, and then we're just gonna shoot up. Watch
The
this.
Super Bowl, the
And
Super Bowl slump. That's what we'll call it. The Super
We're gonna
Bowl
start the ladder at the perfect time, and we're just
Mackie,
gonna
what time
make
does
some
Xavier
ladder
game
is
start?
coming back.
Oh,
Huff,
shit,
the
sorry.
people have
Fuck,
asked, and you have answered. The ladder is here.
Yeah, Mackie, your boy messaged us and said that yesterday to start it today, and I just didn't like anything enough. So I'm like, fuck it, we're starting tomorrow.
Yeah. No force. Let's
But,
go.
yeah.
Xavier's out to a nice 5-2 lead. We're getting off early.
I just turned it on. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it already started. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna get off and watch this game. Hopefully, win a bet here on this college basketball game. Xavier -3, looking to get back in the win column there.
coming up.
Yeah,
Live
Super
stream's
Bowl
gonna be lit
Sunday,
this week.
Live stream Sunday. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Thanks for listening.
All right, boys.